Well, hi.
Hey, Vivian. Good to see you. Hello, hello.
Good to see you as well. And hi, Dr. Sue. I saw
Sue
you
is
just the other
here.
day.
Welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right. How is everybody doing? Hey, Sue. Good to see you.
Awesome.
Tell me, Vivian, why don't you start? Tell me a quick nutshell version of what you'd like to talk about, discuss, or look at today. What's going
Well,
on?
looking for emphasis, Dr. Sue was with me. We were both together in Becky's office hours just the other day.
Fantastic.
Um, so I'm looking for different aspects of how to manage having to particular part of two of my modules be mandatory for completing the
Mhm,
course
mhm,
and so that they can get a specific kind of certificate of completion.
mhm.
And because you mentioned this in a session I was with you before, but I had my mind on something else completely, so I couldn't
Yeah.
really address it then.
Yeah.
Um, because I believe you said there was a way to do that. And I think you also addressed having that only a percentage of the XP things would need to be completed for them to complete the course.
We can do that too. Yep,
Okay,
that's
so
an option.
I'm trying to find, options, which are the best ways to do that. And there's more than one way to do that.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
so that's really what I'm looking
That's the
for.
main thing. Okay, fantastic. Cool. Yes, we can explore all that. There are actually a lot of different ways we can go about doing that. So we can dive into exploring things. Sue, let me hear real quick how you are doing and what if you have a specific question for today or something you want to look at. Not so much.
Well, yeah, I guess I could repeat one of the questions from last night, then just just ask general questions about where I want to go with things. But it had to do with, and we've talked about this, so I just wanted to make sure that I do this correctly for getting my parent and the student, if the student is too young to have their own email address, which the majority of mine are. I haven't had a chance to do some research on, some things say kids under 13 shouldn't be like on social media. Even I know stuff's going on in England, but even in the States, it's always said they're not supposed to have their own profiles and things like that if they're under 13. So then I don't know how many parents are letting their kids have their own email addresses under 13. So you had told me a way to do this. So the parent's going to have to set up the whole thing. And then there's two different ways to put the parent in the course. So I just wanted to run that by you. Either the parent's not in the course. I think before I was going to have a little companion course. That may be too much work. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically how to deal with the parent child. And I'm sure
Okay,
you've had
gotcha.
other people with that. And then how to get them signed up because they're only going to get one magic link, that type of thing. But I want the parent to see something else. So it could be the parent gets a tag with a little extra course for them,
Okay.
you know.
Okay.
So anyway, they're just kind of a strategy,
Okay.
part strategy and part actually how do I tag them when they sign up.
Okay, cool. So several different questions here. Fantastic. Yep, gotcha on that. Let me address kind of the first one of Sue's questions because there's a quick
Mhm.
answer to one piece of this, which is keep in mind that the way an account is defined is always by an email address, and
Correct.
that will never change. So if a kid doesn't have an email address, don't they need to use an email address. So there's always going to be one single email address that is the account email. So in a
Right.
way, that much is pretty simple. You don't have an account that is kind of the parents and kind of the kids. You have one account, one email, and
Right.
for that one account, you can show whatever you want to show. You can add a tag if you want to give them something like a different bonus or course, Like all of those are possible, but I want to, I think, simplify this in your mind a bit because there's no like, here's an account and it kind of goes to this person, but kind of goes to that person. Like that doesn't happen. Does that make sense? So one
Yeah.
account, one
Yeah.
email, they're in, they see what they see. And from there, we can do all of the XP magic that says, when you click this, you get that. When you finish this, you open up that. So those are the kinds of things we can dive into about how to set up any course, but it's not really going to be any different because
Right.
there
It's
is
just,
a
well,
parent.
also, yeah, the magic link will go. So the child has the magic link and they have their own tablet, their own phone. All they have to do is go there. They're not going to have to, or the parent saves, the login information,
Yeah, if
you
the
know,
student,
the email.
exactly. If a student doesn't have access to the email address, that doesn't matter because they have a magic link. So it's one account, it's tied to one email, it has one magic link throughout all time. So if the
And the
kid
parent
is
will just get
just
the
using the magic
weekly
link,
emails that says, the new modules being dropped, X, access.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all that stuff will just go to that one email. Okay. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
trying to simplify that too. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I think we can kind of simplify the meta view of this here because I can see how that could get super complex. But yeah, it's just one
Yeah.
account, one email, one magic link. Whoever's got access to whatever they got can either get into the email if they're a parent or just get into the course itself with the magic link if they're a kid. And then from there we can do things, add tags, set things up however we want. So
Okay.
cool. Okay.
Cool.
Let's talk about, okay, so Vivian, you want to talk about I'm sorry, my mind just went into magic
That's
links.
okay. That in two of my modules, the first and the
Oh,
last, have
certificates, completion,
questions that
defining
need to be
completion.
answered to uh, qualify to get
Right,
their
right, right.
certificate
Yeah.
of completion.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Okay, so let's think about like the big picture and the definitions of this.
Okay.
When we send a certificate, like a certificate is an automation.
Hmm.
And any automation has a trigger that starts it and an action that happens, or a whole bunch of actions that happen. But there's always one trigger that starts the automation and that makes everything go. So that one trigger can be just about anything you need, or at least we got loads of options. So by default, if you click from the playbook, if you just click to set up a certificate, the default trigger is going to be course completed, which means all XP actions have been clicked. So that's just the default, but we can change that to basically whatever we want.
Okay. Hmm.
A common one, if people don't want, I'll just go through a few options and
Sure.
then we can
Sure.
go more specific into where you want to go. A common one, if people don't want to make it that strict, like you have to do every single action, is
Right.
you could do like the last training or module, and maybe the final training is, for example, a quiz or something that they
Hmm.
do that, signals completion. So a possibility is we set up the automation to say the trigger is training 12 complete, which means all XPs just for training 12 were checked off.
Mm.
Or it could be module 3 complete, which is the last module, and it has 3 trainings, but they summarized, they gave the quizzes, whatever they contained that is like, here's what the student has to do to be considered complete. So
Okay.
that'd be one option. The trigger is training complete or module complete. And then the action is certificate runs just like always
Hmm.
and generates a certificate. Congratulations, you finished. Another one you mentioned is percentage,
Hmm.
which is, I believe the way we would do that is with points. Like when the student receives 50 or 52 or 57 points,
Mhm.
then they are complete. And now remember, the one you specifically mentioned is percentage, but also a couple of things have to be done. Okay, perfect. So let's walk through that one because there's
Okay.
just a couple steps. I think I'll go ahead and walk you through and demo how to do all this.
Okay.
But what we're going to do is we're going to give the students a tag based on completing. I'll demo it with like one recommended training. Okay. So they complete a not recommended, required training. Once they complete that, they get a tag. And then once that's in place, we'll set up an automation that only runs for people with the tag.
Could we possibly do that
response.
with a module as opposed to a training?
Yeah, that should work.
Okay,
Pretty
because
sure.
that's,
I'll look
I
at it
need
with you
to
right
look
now and
into
make
that.
sure,
Okay.
but that
All
would,
right.
yeah. So that makes sense so far. Let's,
Yes, because as it is, because I had this as a done for you, but I can't, I need to, that aspect of stuff didn't happen. So I need to
for sure.
get
Yeah.
it so that it functions.
All
I'm
right.
going to have something similar.
Cool.
So you're right now you're working on the dual. One is percentage or points, and other they completed a required training or module, right?
Correct.
That's what you're discussing. Okay.
Yes.
I'm just checking something real quick. Yes, excellent. Okay. So let's do this in a couple of stages. The first thing is we want to add a tag when they complete a module, because that's how you're going to say they've done the required stuff, right?
Okay.
So my first step is I need to create an automation that gives them the tag when they finish a module. So to do that, I'm going to go into step 5. I'm going to go into my course first. I'm going to go into step 5.
Mhm.
I'm going to create a new automation. Going to create it from scratch. My starting trigger is going to be module completed. And I will select my module. Let's give it module 2. So my starting trigger is module 2 completed. I can leave these most likely on the default conditions. There's probably no need to adjust this. Just be aware that if you need to like go back and redo something, this is set to once only. If for any reason you're going to want to run this more than once for a student, just be aware that you can set the condition of this experience to be allowed to run more than once. Does that make sense?
Kind of.
Kind of.
So as far as them completing that module to get a certificate or the certificate only once,
If
not
everything
that,
is, yeah. So if
not
everything's
that,
running as expensive, you wouldn't likely need to run it more than once. But
right. So it wouldn't be, this wouldn't be a space where if I wanted two modules, like the first one and the last one to have to be completed to get it, that wouldn't be something that would be managed in this space. Okay, got
exactly,
it.
yeah. We're just going to do one module
Right.
here.
Yes.
Okay, so the trigger is they have completed module 2. And now we're going to set up the action for this trigger. Actually, the very first thing I'm going to do is give my experience a name so that I can locate what's going on later when I am saying,
yes.
did this happen for this student? What's going on? So this is going to be module 2 completed is going to be the name of my experience. And so this first automation is really simple. I'm just saying when they complete module 2, they get a tag.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is set that up so all students, it happens for all students,
Okay.
because this is going to be different for the next one. But when any student completes Module 2, they should receive a tag.
Okay.
So my action is going to be add a tag. And if I haven't created it yet, I'll just create it right now. All right. So now I've got an automation set up. I'm going to make sure to turn everything on. But here is the first piece now. So when Module 2 is completed, the student gets the tag called Module 2 complete.
Okay.
With me so far?
Yes.
So we've got that done. And now we're going to create a separate automation because I don't want this happening in response to Module 2 completed. I want a totally separate thing to happen. And the thing I want to happen now is to generate a certificate, let's say, but I only want it for certain students. I'm going to start with generating the certificate by using the playbook. I'm always going to start there just because that's going to give me the webhook
Okay.
setup that I need. Okay. So I'm always going to start by create new. I'm going to go to create from playbook and I'm going to find the completion certificate automation.
How'd you get to the playbook? I'm sorry.
I
Right
clicked
there on
create
create new.
and I
Create.
clicked create from playbook.
Create new. Oh, I see. Okay.
So now I'm going to go down to, now I'm going to customize this automation. This one already has a name for me, so that's good. But I don't want the starting trigger to be course completed, as we've been talking about. I want it to be what I want it to be. So let's say I want it to be a certain number of points. Maybe there are 100 points in the course and they have to have 80% complete and have the required module completed.
Ah.
I'm going to make
So changing that there will have both of those
well, not yet.
necessities in place. Oh,
Not
okay.
yet, but
Gotcha.
we're working our way there. Yeah.
Got it.
So the
Okay.
first piece is the points will be my trigger.
Okay.
Again, I'm gonna leave this here for now. Probably good. I'm gonna update that. And all right, so I've got my certificate of completion to fire when and if the student earns 80 points, but now here is the key to everything.
Okay.
Do we want all students to go down this path? No. Only,
Ah,
right?
that completed module 2. Okay. I see.
And then if I open this up, I've already got the
webhook.
certificate set up because I used the create from playbook.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that whenever I set up a certificate, I still need to
Go in there and make it.
just put my account email, number of the certificate ID if I'm using one from the template gallery, or if I had my own created by the team, they would have given me a special code. But I will probably just change these two fields are usually just what needs to be changed.
Now that's what will have it go to A, the student, and B, to you also to know that the student did get the certificate.
Well, let's look at exactly what it does. So this action, this automation is set up to be triggered by this, to only trigger for these people. And what's it going to do is going to be defined by what is in the actions here. So what we have is it's going to call the webhook, which means it's going to actually generate the certificate. So that's got to happen. And then it's going to send an email to the student.
Okay.
And this is the email which you could edit, but it doesn't actually require any editing.
Mhm.
This will work as long as I've done all the steps and set up the webhook.
Okay.
So that's what we have at this moment. That's what we've set up so far. That's all making sense so far with what we've done.
Yes, to getting the certificate to happen and go to email the student, but can we
Mhm.
also have it emailed to us as a,
Absolutely, yeah.
okay.
So how are we going to do that? We want an action that says send an email to me. So to add another
Oh,
action in
okay.
an automation, it can be the same automation because what we want is when this whole thing happens is when I
Mhm.
want to know. So I can just click the plus sign here to
Okay.
add a new action. And I'm going to use email builder. Going to click that. I'm going to name my email just like I named the overall automation. I'm also going to have a name for each piece in the automation because again,
Okay.
when it shows up in the activity log, it'll be like,
Know
in
what it
this
is.
automation, this thing happened.
Got it.
So email to me when student completes the course. This is from me. This doesn't matter. It's just going to me, but I might even want to just put it in the title for myself.
Mhm. Yeah.
So what I could do is hit the / key, which pulls up the editor menu, including my tokens. And this includes my tokens for student names, right?
Excellent.
So you can see here, first name, which means add student's first
Ah,
name,
yes.
right? Let's do first name, last
Yeah.
name,
Perfect.
has completed the course, right?
Yes.
And I
Beautiful.
could just copy that and put the same thing in the body if I want to. And probably that's all I need to know, right?
Mhm.
The student has completed the course. Here is the key, right?
Mhm.
This is the very, very
Okay.
important lever right here. I don't want to send this to the student.
No,
I
they already
either
got
want to
theirs.
send it
Okay.
to the
Me.
admin email on file for this
Mhm.
XP account or to my VA or somebody else.
Gotcha. Marvelous.
I'm going to save and close that. And I'm going to make sure it's on. And now I can look at my entire automation and see what I've got. What's the trigger when a student earns 80 points? But who is it going to happen for? Only
Mhm.
students with this tag. What's going to happen?
Create a
Call the
certificate.
webhook to generate the certificate, email the student with the certificate, and email to me.
Okay. Yes, I see. Very good.
Making sense?
Question with
Yes.
that after Vivian.
You got a question on that? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, just let's just say I've got a task to do at the very end. It could be like a quiz or something, but I want to give them a certificate of completion because they did everything, but maybe they failed the quiz. So they've done everything, but they get to come back and let's say repeat that quiz. Something like that. So they could get a certificate of completion, but to get, well, then maybe that's not a certificate.
Big.
Well, that may be more of an acknowledgement of completion, but they don't get a certificate because they didn't pass the quiz. I mean, did they get anything if, let's say that on here they did 80% of all the XPs, but they didn't complete whatever, there was maybe some quiz in module 2 on her thing. So, because they're going to need both for her certificate. And mine may have 2 parts also. So, I don't know. I guess that's making it too complicated.
So in this one, if they have completed 80 points and they have the module 2 complete, then these actions will happen. If we
There's
wanted
not
to make that
to
different, we
complete.
would need to change
Right.
a condition.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep. Yep.
Cool. You feeling good on setting this up, Vivian, or
Well,
adjusting?
I actually had it done for me, so I know if we could look at it and see if I can tell, look at it together and see if I can tell that what is done and not done. What is done is the last training of the last module triggers triggers the
Uh-huh.
certificate as it stands now. But how it could actually go in there and change it to module without killing what exists and then add my email to come to me because I'm pretty sure, I believe that that's not there as it stands.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah. We
so I have my training thing here.
let me
Um,
give you the how-to on this
okay.
first, and then we
Oh, a
can.
link to the how-to? Okay.
No, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna go, like
Oh,
walk you
okay.
through kind
Got,
of what to think about.
all righty.
So if you have something set up and you're like, oh, I've got an automation with 20 actions that's already running and I don't want to mess with it, you can just change conditions or rather triggers on an automation. You can just add an action to an automation exactly like we just did. So if you have something set up and you just want to add to it, email me when the student completes.
Hmm.
You can just do this exactly the
That
step
piece.
we just did here.
Yeah, I
The
think I'm
one
good with
thing you want to
that
keep
piece.
in mind if you are modifying something that's existing is that we the cleanest setup here is that you're setting this up for a brand new student. You know, if you're trying to make something happen for a student who has already gone through the course, I would
Mhm.
probably, or you're trying to, modify things for students where it already happened, I would probably just do a new automation for whatever you want to do. Does that make
Okay.
sense why I'm saying that?
Makes that actually because my course doesn't actually start until Monday.
That's perfect.
So
Then just,
nobody's
yeah,
been in there to do any of this yet.
then you don't need to worry about my caveat, which was just going to be remember that like right now, for example, this is set to run once only. And this is sort
Mhm.
of getting a little more complicated than you need to worry about. So I don't
Uh-huh.
want you to like kind of go down a rabbit hole on this, but I just want to throw it in there that right now this automation only runs once. So if for some reason we were trying to redo and recreate things, just know it's only
Ah,
going to trigger
yes,
once.
in the
But
past.
I would advise like not trying to do that anyway.
Yes,
So
exactly.
I just want you to like have the condition of what's happening. But
Certainly.
yeah, if nobody has gone through the course yet, no student has
Correct. Mhm.
hit this trigger, then that's a great place to start. We're starting clean with this. And you can just go through, look at your automation, and go, okay, what is the trigger? The trigger is when they earn this many points. Who is it going to happen for? Only if they have this tag. And what's going to happen?
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom.
Got
These
it.
three all happen at once because there are no delay timers in here.
Mm-hmm.
If for any reason we wanted to set up an automation that was like, and then a day later you get an email, we would put a delay timer and then a
Mm.
send email.
Okay.
So there's a way in which this runs in order, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if but if there's no delay timers, then order is sort of meaningless in this
Right. Yeah,
moment, right?
I
So
see.
just to make sure that makes sense,
Yeah,
they
I get
would run through like that. So
that. Okay.
if that's feeling clear, do you want to, if you want to look at your own screen, I'm happy to look at it with you, or what would be helpful from here?
If you could look at my screen, is
Yeah, for sure.
because one of the things I wanted questions to be answered, like from the beginning and the end, but so right now we're just looking at the last module. Um, the questions to be answered, and what I didn't understand from before in my learning is that a survey could only be one, the quiz could only be a one question thing. So that a quiz was one question, because I'm calling it a survey. couldn't be multiple questions to complete it. So if I can show you what I have, if that, so that could
Sure.
like
Yeah, and let
possibly
me
make
just think.
sense.
This sounds like kind of another question or topic we might be going into. So, if you want me to like demo how to do that, it may be easier for me um to go through it on my screen. What?
Well, if I can show you what my module actually is, like with the survey stuff, that might make more sense that it's multiple questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so am I eligible to share?
Go ahead and send a request, please,
Oh, okay.
if it
Send
doesn't
request. I
allow
see.
you.
Got it.
Okay, great.
All right, multiple partners can share. So can you see that? Looks
Yes.
like you can see that. Okay. So here, this is my final module. There are two trainings in this module. This is the first of the two. And the second one, has a few questions also. So since quiz can only be one question, I'm labeled them survey question one, survey question two. So, and most of them are essays. And then the next training, I'll go ahead and hit the back button to get to that. Um, Preview so you can just see it. And then this is the program evaluation form, which is a quiz collection, AKA survey. Um, and then as it stands, what Marina has done is that this final action is what triggers the certificate. And I'm wanting it to be minimally that module 7 be completed to do that. Now, since my module 7 has two trainings with, multiple actions in it, is that still something that we can do that's as a module,
Yeah,
the completing
module
this module,
completion is defined as all trainings
all
are
all
complete,
actions in
and
it? Mhm.
trainings complete is defined as all XPs are
Okay.
checked off.
And that's
So,
just the XPs, because as I understand it, the XXPs are like not bonus because you actually have
exactly.
something labeled bonus, but is unnecessary for completion, beneficial to them, but unnecessary for completion. That's correct?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. And so um, in here, if I look at, can I look at module 7? So that is okay, so yeah, so that's still okay. It's a collection of quizzes, and it's so the platform doesn't really care what my trainings are, but as long as all the trainings in that module, if I set it for module to be the action, then that's fine.
Exactly.
That doesn't matter. Okay. So with knowing that, then if one other question before you show us the what you were going to show us is it possible for it to require two modules be completed? Would that just be another level within the requirements of what you had built so far, or is that really not something that could be created without insane complication that
Well,
module
that's
1 and module 7 need to
yeah,
be
the bottom
completed?
line is you can make it as complex as you want, and you can
Mhm.
set up, you can set up things with tags to get as specific and as um,
Granular.
granular,
Yeah.
thank you, yeah, as you want to get.
Okay.
Basically, you would need to do an automation that says, if this happens, then give this tag, and when that happens, then give that tag. So you would need, you know what I'm saying? Like you would need to have them get to the tag. You'd need to set up the process first for them to
Mhm.
get a final tag, and then you would set it up just like this so that
Okay. So as you had set it up, it was starting with the 80% that needed to be done, that they would have to get that. And then who could, as far as all, then who could get that would be somebody that actually had completed, as we had were discussed, the final module,
Mm-hmm.
which in your example was module two. And then if I wanted to have two modules be required to actually get the certificate, then I would have to set up and would have to have completed module one, and then another one say also have completed module two, or that'd be one action module one and module two. I'm guessing it's two requirements, two separate requirements.
Let's look at how we do this. Ginny, how's it going?
Oh, we got a new person.
Yeah. Okay, let's see how we would just thinking through with you how we would set this up for you.
It's great. I'm just at the nail salon, so I didn't want to interrupt you
No.
guys talking. But I have a question when you have a chance. When you have a
Okay.
chance. Okay, I'll go mute again.
Okay.
Learning at the nail salon. You can learn anywhere.
All right, so what we want is if they finish a training. All right, so here's a way we could do it. If they complete training one, yeah, here's what we would do. If they complete training one, then they get a tag. Then we would do a new automation. If they complete training two, and they already have the tag from completing training one, then they get another tag,
Okay.
right?
All right. I see. Very good.
So we could do that to infinity if we wanted. So we could make it as
Only the two. I'll be happy with those and the 8%. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
That
At a
is
certain point, you
amazingly
go, like,
helpful.
what's really, really necessary for me to set up
Exactly.
here?
Yes. Well, I want them to be able to, if they need to later on, or their leadership wants to, because I'm understanding that there's at least one county or school districts that's requiring them to do certain kind of stuff, but they're not subsidizing it. They're not giving them the time. And I'm
Yeah.
not going to go down the CEU trail, but that they can verify it this way. So I just need to know I have the stuff in the background for when they want to do that, or I can't call it that. So this is majorly helpful. Thank you so much.
Awesome. I'm so glad. Yeah, and it's a fantastic process to have in your mind that you can do, though, that if you do want,
Yes.
like, multiple things required, just do like first one, first
Yes.
tag,
Has to follow a
second
trail.
tag if they have the first tag, and so on. And from there
Beautiful.
you can build it out. Awesome.
Fantastic.
Fantastic stuff, Vivian. This is
Thank
great.
you.
Great
Well, it's
questions.
awesome. Dr. Sue and I are trying to do kind of the
Kind of the same
for
thing, yeah.
different reasons, or
Yeah. Awesome. Is this helpful, Sue? You got where we're going with this? All making sense?
Yeah, mine's just set up
Sure, before we, yeah.
very simply,
Awesome.
and I probably, if I want to add the last project, I could, but it could be that mine, the way it sits now, if they just end up completing that whole thing, they get their certificate, because mine's just,
Yeah.
it's completed. They're actually not using it for a formal workplace certification. So I think mine is good the way it stands. I don't need to have probably that last. If they complete the last, that's all it needs to do is have the check mark.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Cool deal.
Awesome. Jenny, how's
I
it
do
going?
have the question
it
after
listening?
Virginia. So
Oh,
let
you have a
Virginia.
question? Okay.
Yeah, but that's a new thing.
A new thing.
So-
Excellent. All right. We love new things. Jenny, what you got?
Okay. Hey, thanks for taking me. I'm still having trouble with the welcome email. I want to get in and I want to change it because there's a couple pieces that need to be inserted. But I really tried everything that the little AI helper told me to do, and I can't figure. I know I'm missing just one silly thing, but I want to get into my course and change the welcome email.
Sure.
Can you
Yeah.
just kind of show
Absolutely.
me? Thank you.
Yeah. That should be very straightforward. Let's simplify whatever that crazy AI told you. Okay, so I am going to be in my admin account, right? So I'm looking at all my courses, and I'm going to go into the course that has the email I want to change. So I'm going to click on that course. And whenever I click on a course, I'm going to open up steps 1 through 6. And the email is an automation. The welcome email or any automated email is going to be in step 5, right? So I'm going to click to open that up. And once I open up step 5, I will see all of my automations. And just to do an overview, I can see like the shell of each automation. And if I click on it, I can open it up to see everything inside it. And first thing is if I look through all of my automations, I see everything here, starting with the welcome email, all the way down to Vivian's complex setups.
We're not seeing your screen right now since I had
Thank you
shared.
for letting me know. My
Yeah.
goodness, what happened here?
You let me share and then
I
I
see the
unshared.
screen.
But-
I saw
Oh,
the screen.
oh, you're seeing it? Oh, I'm
Yeah,
not seeing it.
and where I'm having a problem,
is.
I know exactly where you are, but when I
Okay.
click on that, I don't know how to open up that email so I can change it. Do you
Yep,
know what I mean?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
All right, everybody seeing my screen now? Okay. All right, so well, I've got all of my automations. I'm going to go to the one I want to edit, which is the welcome email. First thing I'm going to do is just click on the automation, and that's going to open up pathways. If I don't see pathways, change my account from simple to pro mode in the account settings, by the way. I'm going to click here to see everything that's in this automation. And once I am seeing the student welcome email, I'm going to click on it. And it's going to open up a screen like this. And it's going to say to edit this email, open it in our new editor. It's making sense so far, Jenny?
Yes.
I'm going to click on that. And
Yes.
it's gonna
That's
take a moment.
beautiful.
That's probably the step that
It
I missed.
was
right?
that one. Yeah, it was that one extra step to go down and then open that up. That's what I didn't get. Thank you. Now it's recorded, so I'll have that too. Thank you.
Making sense. You are welcome.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Important thing to know. So of course I'll edit, I'll save and close it. And then I'm done. And I'll make sure always that everything is toggled on once I'm ready to go so that it runs. And while we're here, I want to just show the thing. This is super quick that I mentioned. This is partly for the recording, but if anybody, if it applies at any time, if you're ever like not seeing the pathways, or if you're not seeing something that should be in your account, and you know, growth plan features have like all the gamification, so you shouldn't be missing something like pathways or anything like that. But we did create a special setting a while back that's called simple and pro mode. And the point of this was just to simplify, because some people come into XP and they're like, too much stuff. I don't want to like see so many things to figure out. So if you ever are not, by the way, seeing something that you expect to see that is like a gamification feature, go in your account dashboard, just go to account. And I think it's right here under the account tab. Yeah, so under this very first, so just click account here under the account tab. Scroll down to miscellaneous settings, simple and pro. If it's on simple, some things like pathways are hidden. I think actually bonuses are hidden. It's meant to just give you like an easier view or simpler view of just setting up a course. So that turns out that wasn't it for you, Jenny, but sometimes that's what's happening when people are like, this isn't editing the way I need. So cool. Did we solve that, Jenny? Or are
Yes.
are we good? Excellent. Okay.
Yes. I'm trying to get this open so I can see you.
Okay.
Okay.
And
But
this
yes,
is
it's been great.
on the recording
It's-
if you need.
Yes, it's been awesome. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. And Sue, what else you got?
Yeah, well, I kind of alluded to this before. I do have things that has to do with my parents. So I've got what I was thinking, either bonuses or resources, but I think resources may be the best place. That if okay, in my athlete course, I think I told you before, I'm gonna, for the parent, they're gonna get a summary of the module, and they're gonna get 4 questions to discuss, like with their athlete. So very simple, they just get a summary and those 4 questions. So in one looking at Becky, I saw she had her parent info right inside the same course as the child. So before, I was told to do like a duplicate the course and then add more in for the parent, but that would take, again, 2 emails because you can't have 2 courses. So where do you think, that's question number 1. Should I put the parent stuff inside, or do I do a tag for resources, and then in the resources only the parent can get to it, and it's going to tell the parent what's going on and give them discussion questions and why they need to go through this with their child and what they get. See what I'm saying? So I don't want the child to see all the instructions for the parents and what's going on and all of that. So
it's
where do I
super
put that?
easy to show and hide content in a course, and there's lots of ways you can do that.
Okay, so just under show and hide.
Well,
Well, I
the
mean, I'm just
concept
saying.
is that you can show and
Yeah.
hide content in a course very easily, and
Okay.
there's multiple ways you could do that.
What would be the easiest way for the parent to get? I mean, they're going to have their own welcome emails and all this, which is why I really wanted a separate little mini course for them. Because they're going to have their own welcome emails, how to navigate the site. They're going to get different stuff from the kids, and then their summaries and their discussion questions, and then they'll have access to a forum, that type of thing. So it was, getting. I couldn't figure out how to do them together. So that's a lot to me to hide and do, unless it's all tagged with parent tag, and then parent can just open up everything that says parent tag and I can put it all in there.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, it's not hard to show and hide content, whether in blocks, whether in trainings only being available to people. There's a lot of ways to show and hide content, but none of that is hard on a technical level to do. So how you want to set it up is up to you. That's
Okay,
not
where do I start to start uploading stuff into whatever I'm going to do? Then I'm going to call it a tag. Like if I want to add a parent welcome video, where do I just start with that? Then I give it the tag that it's got to have that. And do I start with automations and just go down there, create the tag and create that, and then?
Let's simplify this a bit. Can we get a little more simple?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, please.
What? So at the end of the day, yeah, we have some content that we want parents only to see. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And this is and this content is like, give me in a nutshell, like how many videos are we talking about, and what is this content? Is it like a whole series of things they need to go through? Is it one video? What are we
No,
talking?
it's mainly all the pre-work. They're going to have the welcome, like a survey, a contract to sign. So there's going to be a few things in there. Then the rest is just a per module, one summary, and which is, I don't know, 2 pages, and 1 page that's got discussion questions. So that's the extent of it all the way through.
For only the parents?
Yeah.
So you've got kind of a whole series of trainings basically that the parents only need to see.
Correct.
Okay. So the way that we want to do that then, especially if it's got questions and all the things, is we want to put this in trainings and we just want to lock those trainings unless they get unlocked. And we're going to unlock them by a tag.
Okay, so then it's there under trainings. Oh, like at the bottom of the kids page could be the parent training drops in there. The parent wants to look at what the kids are doing, fine. If not, they just go to their training, but the child won't see it. The parent will see it. But if they have the same email login, is it by name? Can I have two names on the same course?
No, one name per course. Remember, one account is always going to be one account, one email, one magic link. Now,
Okay.
for that account, we can show whatever we want, but to go back to our beginning, remember, we're not doing one account and having it be like two different identities, because one
Okay.
account is always going to be one account with
Okay,
whatever.
if I give it a parent tag, how does the computer know that on that same page that if there's only one login, how can I have a tag for the parent and the rest of it for the child?
You don't. That's what I'm saying. That's what we said in the beginning. One account is always going to be one person, one email, one magic
Right.
link, and it's going to show whatever we want to show for that account.
Right. And you said, we'll do this under trainings. They'll be locked and they can only get unlocked with a tag.
Right.
How do I
So-
give the parent a tag when they have the same email?
So the tag is for the account, for the person who's logging into the account. If there's an account that is tagged parent, it's going to show everything for a parent. If it's not tagged parent, it's not going to show this content. But remember, we're not trying to make one account behave two different ways for two different people, because that doesn't exist. That doesn't make any sense. Does that make you with me?
Kind of, then would that mean that the parent, because they have parent tag, they get everything and then the child only sees the unlocked material?
So an account is going to show whatever you want it to show. So if you want an account to show 37 trainings, it's going to show 37 trainings. If you want it to show 2, it's going to show 2. Anybody who logs into that account is going to see whatever it shows. If we've set it to show 37 trainings, whoever logs in as person A is going to see 37 trainings.
Okay, so my course can have more than one account?
By account, I'm talking about a student account. So if I'm a student in your course, there's an account called there's an account under Rachel's email. And that student account can show whatever I want it to show. But no matter who logs in, even if Viviane says, I'm Rachel's friend and I'm going to log into Rachel's account, it's going to show whatever Rachel's account shows.
Right. I just, I still understand that you said I can have an account that, yes, I understand. The one account has everything that shows up, but I thought you only got one account with one email.
Exactly. One account,
Okay.
one email, whatever content I want to show is going to show.
Right. But how does the child see something different than the parent?
If they're logging into the same account, they don't. They're logging into the same account with the same email address. They're not going to see something different.
Okay, that's what I was trying to get. How do I do that? How do I give my parents something? So I can't unless I do a
You
separate, make
don't.
a separate
Yeah.
course.
You do not have the same account showing somehow different things if different people log in.
Right.
There's
Okay.
no possible way to
That's
do
my
that.
problem. Okay. Should I duplicate the course, add the parent content, and they get a free course, let's just say.
Okay, yeah, you could do that.
So I duplicate it. I don't have to redo everything. All I have to do is slip in, slip in my, these are going to be like, I'm not going to do videos for the parent. They can read the stuff. It's a 2-page summary and questions asked their child. They'll just have different videos. Welcome. It's only the pre-work that's different. They only do that once
Cool.
throughout all of everything working with me.
Awesome.
So duplicate the course and have the parent get their own course.
You can
Right?
definitely do that.
Okay. I think that'd be simpler because I can't put tags in if there's only one account.
You cannot make one account behave 2 different ways
Right. Okay.
because the
Good.
computer doesn't know who's logging in. Okay,
Right.
your
I just
computer
got
doesn't
confused.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got confused with locking and unlocking materials, but it's not the same person. It's 2 different people. So, okay.
Exactly. Locking and unlocking materials applies if I have a course and Sue gets to see some material, but Vivian and Ginny don't. So I'm
Yeah.
going to
Maybe you
tag
paid for
Sue's
bonus.
accounts.
Yeah. Maybe you paid differently or something like that. Right.
Right. Yeah. So Sue's
Happen.
account is going to be tagged parent and it shows everything. Vivian
Right.
and Virginia are going to be tagged kid and they don't show everything because
Right.
yeah. But if a kid logs into Sue's account, it's tagged parent, so it's going to show everything.
Right.
Again, the
Okay.
computer doesn't know who's on the other end of a
Okay.
line.
I think I'll just clone the thing. That'll be easier. Then I can just add my simple parent stuff to it.
I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I know
Awesome.
that looks complicated, but I think that'll actually be simpler.
I think, yeah, I think you're right. I think you've got it. Yeah. Duplicate, set up what you want, 2 different courses.
Okay.
Excellent. Great stuff, you all. Yeah, Vivian, last question.
I think I hope these are both very quick questions. One, is there a best link to go to find the recordings of office hours in general?
Office hours article in the Help Center.
Article in the Health Center. Okay. Other question, where do the milestones live in the course? Because I can't find, I had it done for you one. I can't find if that where they exist. I've tried shopping to learn where they exist, but
By milestones, do you mean like goals that they set up in the beginning? Like goals for, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make $2,000. Is that what you're talking about?
no, actually, I had goals and like in the welcome thing, let them choose their own goal. But no, within the course, when this happens, then a milestone thing will show up.
By milestone, do you mean a celebration, like an animated thing that plays?
No, I had celebrations also, and I
So
was able
what's a
to find all
milestone? What
those.
does a milestone mean to you in this context?
Well, when I was taking the EMP, it meant that we, had to do something before with our coach, and then we got a milestone. But they didn't say that I had to do that with milestones. It's just in my,
But
course stuff that I sent to them said that these were to be milestones, but I don't see those as having been addressed, and I can't tell.
I'm gonna have to hop off in a second, but I gotta know, like, what does it mean? Like, what is a milestone? What literally
It was
is
just
that?
a recognition. So d similar to or almost identical to a celebration, apparently, in my thinking. So I didn't have something that I required of them to do to be calling it a milestone.
Yeah. I
So
don't think you have milestones in your course.
I'm still not clear what the definition is. If it's not a celebration, what literally is it that we're talking about?
Oh, just a point reached in the through the course.
A point reached, that happens every time they check off an action,
Okay.
which is set up in step 3.
Okay, well, the action stuff. Okay, so yeah. Okay, I don't want to take up any more time in this with that. So my understanding of it is not clear, but it didn't get clarified or questioned in the process of it being built. Okay. Okay, so I'll address that at another point.
Let me just take another minute. A point, you mean like the way a student gets points every time they check an action, or do you mean something else? Like
Um,
literally, what is a milestone? Like a point reached, what does that mean?
uh, like you finished your first module. Well, there's similar to you finished your first module within within a module, within trainings in a module that, okay, we've gotten this far here, congratulations on getting to this point. We are at a milestone in a point in the process of going through the course. Not related to them grabbing points, but just having I'm sorry, maybe I'm just not able to explain it well at this point in time.
What is the literal thing you're looking at on your screen? Can you
There
just
is nothing on my screen I can look at to see milestone. That's the problem. I
So how do we
experienced
know
them.
it exists?
How do
What
I,
is
yeah.
it? What is it, literally?
Well, I had put out a list of, what I wanted them to be in the documentation to build the course, but I don't see them. I
Let me
don't,
back up. If I can't see it on my screen, what am I trying to build? Like,
it would be looking like a celebration, but it would be labeled as a milestone. That was my
so create a
understanding.
celebration and call it a milestone.
Okay, so maybe I just need to do that. Okay, all righty. It'd been nice if they'd told me that. And I was like, where is it? I can't see it, and I'm not hearing back. Okay,
So
so I'll just do it as that. That's the clearest and makes most sense.
I think
And I
you're
know where to go
describing a
to.
celebration. I think you're describing a celebration. So go to step 6 and set up a celebration. But if that's not it, let me know.
Okay, no, well, that sounds like it because I can't find anything else in there that says milestone anything, yet they asked me about them. So, okay,
Okay,
I'll
we'll
create
figure this
it.
out for you, Vivian. Let me
I'll
know.
just change the name and create it as a celebration. That makes the most sense. Thank you.
Email support. Let me know. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Thanks, y'all.
thanks.
Fantastic questions. Have an awesome day, and I
Thank
will
you, ladies.
see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.